you just comment on the play set you up on? Pass.
Yeah, that was a great play by him. You know, I was yelling for the puck a little before that. I thought he didn't hear me, so I was just waiting for the right moment. And it was a great play. You know, it was a great move by him, and he actually surprised me that when he gave it to me, that I was ready. I actually wanted it. No, it was real important, especially 3 games before Christmas and at home. So you know, we better take advantage of that. And we have some games in hand too. And if we don't win them, it doesn't matter if you have.
Forecheck in, and it was a lot more aggressive nature deep. How much do you really attribute that to the success you guys had in the offensive zone tonight?
Yeah, I think moving our feet was a big key, especially against Washington. That's so fast, you know, and they're good on breakout. And if you obviously they're great players, and if you put pressure on them, sometimes you know they're going to cough up the puck, and it happens a couple times. And that was a big part of it. It was because we were being hard, you know, moving our feet quick and getting there early, and having a good, you know, 5-man unit out there. The first guy was there, but also I thought our support was great.
I feel like your line in particular has caught some momentum in the last couple of games. Seems like you guys are starting to see some production.
Yeah, no, it's fun to see, but you know, we got to keep it going. You know, those past 2 games were great. I thought, you know, we really played well.
What were you doing? I mean, what allows you guys to kind of feed into that and
I
more
think
results?
that's the past 2 games we already moved our feet more, but we were a lot better on forecheck and causing a lot of turnovers, and you know, the pressure, like I said, on defense. You know, if you have all the time in the world, you know, they're great players and they're going to make the plays.
It seemed like Blake made a really nice play there on that goal you scored in the first period too.
Yeah, it was a great play, great move, and he gave me the puck at the right time.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah. Thanks, Patrice.
It's your first job, obviously, to play good defense, but you know, when you get it in their zone, be strong on the puck, make smart plays, and more often than not, you know, you're going to spend a lot of time in there because you know, those guys want to score goals, and you know, it's no fun when you want to score goals. You're playing in your defensive zone. Yeah.
On the extreme side.
Well, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, I tuned into that 24/7 show today, and it kind of showed you know, the struggles they were having, and you know, we've all been there. You know, our team's been there too at times where you know, you might help play the other team, you can't get a win. So coming to the rink, you know, I guess I knew where they're coming from, and you know, I think that first period we had a great first period, and from there, you know, they were trying to scratch and claw back, you know, much like we've been trying to do here these maybe the last 3 or 4 games. We're trying to play from behind.
Anything different that your line is doing the last couple of games just to see more results? Anything that you guys kind of focused on?
Yeah, the forecheck is it's been a huge difference maker. You know, I think sometimes you think you're working hard and you think you're in the right spots and doing the right things, but you know, you might be thinking a little too much, maybe hesitating a step slow, and I think all 3 of us are just you know, hounding the puck everywhere it is on the ice, and you know, if they make good passes through you, then you know, just work hard and back check, but you know, don't let them, you know, have easy lanes to pass, and if you're going hard at them, it makes their job all the more difficult, and you know, when you create turnovers in the offensive zone, that's where you get scoring chances. So you know, I just think that we've really been doing a better job of not sitting back and sort of trying to force the issue here.
I feel like Bergie had a pretty good 2-man game going tonight too, given the break.
Yeah, and you know, Rex is, you know, he's so great at what he does. You know, even on my goal, you know, that defenseman wasn't able to cut off that lane because Rex is right in front of the net, taking him away. So, you know, he's just as important as anyone. You know, he's great to play with, and obviously, anytime you create a turnover, Bergie seems to always be the first guy on it. So, it's a lot of fun to have that because you know, you feel like if you're working hard and hitting and creating turnovers, then you know, those 2 guys are going to be all over it too, and you know, that's where you start to get some chemistry and some results.
Looking back on it, do you feel like you guys were a little conservative there in the 3rd period?
Well, I think it's maybe a combination. You know, guys don't want to make the big mistake and have it end up in your net, and you know, they were kind of all their chips were in. So I think the combination of those 2 things is kind of deadly sometimes. You know, you spend a lot of time in your own zone, you know, not wanting to maybe play your normal game because you feel like if you exude too much energy in the offensive zone, you might be playing in your D zone for a bit too. So you know, that's not the way you want to do it. It was good enough tonight, but I think the way to do it is to try to score that fourth goal and take over the game there early in the third, and that creates a way different game. You get that fourth one, it's ball game.
It must be a relief after that third period just to get the 2 points here with the victory there.
Yeah, it is. Certainly the second half of the game, the ice was tilted maybe a little bit in their favor, and that's what so you pay the goalie the big bucks for. So he's been tremendous, obviously, and he was huge again for us tonight, and it was good enough, I guess.
But do you tend to thrive in all these multiple roles you play on this team?
Well, it's sometimes you gotta think hard where you're supposed to be on the ice. It can get a little confusing sometimes, but I've played here with Bergie and Rex on the left side for a few games now, so it's been great to kind of create some chemistry with those guys, and I think we're starting to really come into our own. And I think we were playing well, but we weren't getting the results we wanted. Now I think we've kind of taken it to a little different level now. So hopefully we can keep this going, because it makes it a lot of fun. You're playing with 2 guys like that, and you're getting some results.
You mentioned before the forecheck being the difference for you guys the last few games and seeing more results. I mean, is that video work that the coaches are showing you when you're saying you're not working as hard as you think you are, and you kind of realize it? I mean, is that how you're figuring that out? Or
Yeah,
what
definitely.
sparks that?
Yeah, definitely. Just showing clips, and it might not even be of you. It might just be of anyone, and you see kind of A and B examples where here's a guy kind of. You don't want to say they're not working hard, because they might think they're doing the right thing, but they're just a step slow or hesitating for that extra step, and that's all it takes in this league. So then you see all 3 guys kind of busting their tail and finishing checks, and more often than not you're seeing pucks turned over and chances for. So that's where you gotta put your focus on doing things like that instead of the end result, because guys are good enough that if they're getting chances after chance after doing that stuff, it's going to go in the net at some point.
Is it easy to get caught up in the end result, though, maybe when you haven't scored in a couple of games or whatever, and stretch like going into Montreal?
That's all you think about. You think about burying your chances and bearing down and stuff like that, whereas sometimes just taking the opposite approach and worrying about other areas and how you can get in those scoring areas. Then all of a sudden you see the puck go in more. So I think that's a key. That's a key to sort of take a step back sometimes and evaluate yourself and everyone. And I think that's kind of why we've seen the puck go in that a bit more, especially for our line.
Yeah. Has that helped a lot with you meshing with Patrice and Rexy there?
Yeah, for sure. Bergie's always so good on the forecheck, and he's always the first guy on the puck. So if you can just be there helping him out, he's going to win most of those battles. So that's something you learn from playing with guys, kind of their tendencies and what they're good at. And I'm starting to figure out that just giving him a little help in those corners, he's going to win those pucks for sure.
As far as getting the 2 points, I'm just happy to get the 2 points. I haven't thought about whether I'm disappointed the way I played the third. I'm just happy to get the 2 points.
Say about you've had a lot of good games this year. Where does this one turn out? How you felt out there? Is this about as good as you felt? Or?
No, actually, I really had to force myself to work. Sometimes it just comes easy. In the first period and part of the second, I really had to force myself to work. In the third, by the time the third came around, I got into that working mode. It wasn't work anymore. The third was easy. But earlier on, even in warm-ups, I just had to force myself to work. And my hand-eye, while not bad, wasn't possibly as 100% crisp as it's
How hard is it going from 2 periods where you have less consistent shot efforts coming on you to go into a third like that?
It wasn't a hard transition. I didn't really I didn't know what to expect in the third. I was on pace for 22.5 shots against after 2 periods. I pretty much knew that wouldn't be the case. I figured they'd probably get up near 28, 29 because they'd put on a third period push. I didn't realize the amount of shots they get, but actually I didn't realize the amount of shots they had until I looked at the end of the game, because I don't want to think about it